Hola chicos, ¿cómo están? So far, you've learned to identify direct and indirect objects in sentences like Le compré unos recuerdos a mi papá. I bought my father some souvenirs. And you can use indirect and direct object pronouns separately, as in Te mandé una tarjeta postal. ¿La recibiste? I sent you a postcard. Did you receive it? Just like in English, you can use direct and indirect object pronouns together in the same sentence. For example, did you give the receptionist the credit card? Yes, I gave it to her. ¿Le diste la tarjeta de crédito a la recepcionista? Sí, se la di. When using indirect and direct object pronouns together in the same sentence, the indirect object pronoun goes first, opposite from English. The two pronouns must stay beside each other, and the usual object pronoun placement rules apply. Let's review these. When the sentence only has one verb, the object pronouns are placed before the conjugated verb. Los pasajes de avión nos los mandaron por correo electrónico. The plane tickets, they send them to us by email. ¿Tu pasaporte? ¿No te lo devolví? Your passport? Didn't I return it to you? Notice the indirect object goes first and the direct object second. When there are two verbs in the sentence, you have two options. The object pronouns can be placed before the first conjugated verb or attached to the second verb. The second verb will always be a gerund, ando, yendo ending, or an infinitive, AR, ER, IR endings. Mamá imprimió mi tarjeta de embarcación y ella me la va a dar al entrar en el puesto de seguridad. Mamá imprimió mi tarjeta de embarcación y ella va a dármela al entrar en el puesto de seguridad. Mom printed my boarding pass and she is going to give it to me when we go in the security checkpoint. Did you notice that an accent mark was added? Since you are adding two syllables to the infinitive, you will need the accent mark on the third to the last syllable to maintain the word stress in the correct syllable. Mamá imprimió mi tarjeta de embarcación y ella me la está dando al entrar en el puesto de seguridad. Mamá imprimió mi tarjeta de embarcación y ella está dándomela al entrar en el puesto de seguridad. Mom printed my boarding pass and she is giving it to me when we go in the security checkpoint. In the case of a gerund, the accent mark will be added in the fourth to the last syllable. Now, an interesting thing happens when two third-person object pronouns are used together. Example, give it to them or receive them from her. Both the indirect and direct object pronouns in the third person start with the letter L in Spanish. The indirect object pronoun in those situations changes to se. These are the combinations that will have this change. Le plus lo or les plus lo will change to se lo. Le plus la or les plus la, se la. Le plus los or les plus los, se los. Le plus las or les plus las, se las. Let's look at some examples in context. Los pasajes de avión para usted se los puse en este sobre. Plane tickets for you. I put them in this envelope for you. Tu papá sabe todo sobre el vuelo. Se lo dije ayer. Your dad knows everything about the flight. I told it to him yesterday. Aquí está tu visa para los oficiales de inmigración. Necesitas presentársela ahora. Here is your visa for the immigration officers. You need to present it to them now. Where there is likely to be confusion about who the se is referring to, be sure to use prepositional phrases for clarification. Compré regalos para mi mamá y mi papá. Se los di a ella para su cumpleaños y se los di a él para el Día del Padre. I bought gifts for my mother and my father. I gave them to her for her birthday and gave them to him for Father's Day. Eso es todo por hoy. Hasta luego.